Well, this weekend, hundreds of Michigan State and University of Michigan seniors and seniors from all over the state will turn in their tassels, earning their degrees, and many of those seniors are looking for a job, but so many don't know exactly where to begin. It can be an intimidating process. Well, joining us this morning with some post-graduation advice is the Executive Director and Business Coach, John Dwoskin. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so what's the most important piece of advice for a senior who is going to be graduating in just a few days, still doesn't have a job lined up?
Sure. So a couple things. One, we want to get them prepped with the right mindset, that take a deep breath, that they will find a job. They're not going to be 100 still looking for their first
right. And their parents can take a sigh of relief too. I paid all that money. Let's get them out of the house.
Right. So it will come. It may take a little bit of time. So have a mindset where you're patient and persistent and consistently searching. That being said, one of the first steps is really catalog what you've done through college. Committees, jobs, internships, and really not only catalog what you've done, but the lessons that you've learned and the value that you brought from those different situations and experiences.
Because a lot of people think, okay, well, I've had an internship and I've had a job, but they don't think of some of the other activities they do in school as being perhaps valuable to employers. But it can demonstrate your leadership abilities and problem-solving abilities.
Absolutely. Athletics, I mean, all of it is, what did you learn that you can apply in the real world? Because they're going to be asking you questions about the committees, the fraternities, the sororities, the athletics, and what you learned from a coach that you can then apply into this career. So really just kind of cataloging all of that, and then spending time researching the type of job that you want. Best way to do that is reach out to your centers of influence and your network to see who they can make introductions to in key jobs and positions.
And we think of networking, we often talk about it as adults, but as a new college graduate, your network may be more extensive than perhaps you realize, because it's not just who you know, it's who the people you know, your parents.
Correct. And not only that, but even the professors that you've been working with, or anybody within the university walls that you've been encountering. There's so many centers of influence, and we got to reach out to as many people as we possibly can.
All right. And then let's say, okay, now I have the interview.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, let's back up real quickly, because as you prep for the interview, you want to make sure that you're doing research on the company and prepping at least 10 questions in a notebook, so you show up ready to ask them and interview them and ask questions at the end. And you want to make sure you show up 15 minutes early, because if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. You're
late, and you don't need any extra stress. Now, if people want to get a hold of you and have more questions, or maybe want to find out more about the process, do you have a website? How can people reach you?
Yeah, best way to get a hold of me is my website, johndwoskin.com, and I always share my cell phone if anybody wants to connect with me, 248-535-7796.
All right, that's availability right there. John, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
this
so
morning.
Much, Keenan.
Great
Appreciate
advice
your time.
for so many graduating seniors.